a rematch coming up this weekend. And Larry, what is the rematch coming up this weekend?
That would be Usyk versus Joshua 2.
So this is the GRP, do entertainment, but it's a sports, people. We're doing the sports today, and as you know, martial arts aficionados, ex-professional boxer, we also cover those things as well.
So we are doing a preview of this big fight. Yeah. So let's dive right in.
Yeah.
I want to say that, well, originally I thought that when the rematch was first mentioned, that Joshua should have got a warm-up fight.
Yeah, I definitely agree 100%.
Yeah, I still really am of that opinion. I don't think it matters as much as it did when the fight was first announced, because remember there's been a big delay.
You know
what I mean?
For reasons which most people should know by now.
Yeah, the Ukraine thing, but
yeah.
So yeah, that was my feeling, that he should have had, because now also he's got to get used to a new coach, Robert Garcia. And it's a weird setup because Robert Garcia is still with, I mean, he still has one of his old coaches in Angel, actually know him as well, but he's still there. Angel Fernandez, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Angel Fernandez is still there with Robert Garcia. Obviously, Robert McCracker's no longer there.
No.
But you need time with a new coach, and you know, a warm-up fight would. And I said this when Deontay was going to fight Tyson Fury again when he put on all that weight.
Yeah.
You know, so there's that, right? Another reason why there should be a warm-up fight is because obviously Joshua's going to have to change his tactics in this fight, big time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why he thought he could outbox the boxer instead of using his natural attributes, which is his strength and size. But he got a boxing lesson basically.
Yeah. This isn't boxing Joseph Parker, this is different.
Yeah, like exactly.
He could stay in the time and box Joseph Parker, because Parker, for the most part, stood in front of him. He did, but Usyk uses angles.
Right.
And like no other heavyweight, really. Like, you can say that Fury does it, but I'd say Usyk, for me personally, the way he uses the ring, Fury's got ring generalmanship to, you know, for days on end. But the way that Usyk fights it's like Lomachenko at heavyweight. He's able to move around the ring and cut off and create spaces that most heavyweights can't create.
Yeah, and 100% I agree with that. And you know, because Joshua's going to have to find a new way of well, not find a new way, but he's going to have to box differently to how he boxed before in the first fight. Again, it's imperative that he tried that out against a similar opponent in a fight that hasn't had so much stakes. Yeah, you know, because I'm telling you now, if Joshua loses this, he's retiring.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's off the table at all.
Yeah. I don't think if he loses this fight, he's retiring. Because let's be honest, he's made a bunch of money.
That's not knocking Joshua. What he's done for the sport is, like,
listen,
Wembley Arena sellouts, Saudi Arabia. You know, he has put heavyweight boxing for the most part back on the map.
100%. So that's not a negative on Joshua.
No.
It's just that, really and truly, what else has he got left? You know, you've got all the money in the world, you've got a legacy. Why do you need to carry on?
And you don't want to have to climb the pile again. You don't want to go through this again.
You don't. So, you know, I don't feel like. Let me be real here. I want Joshua to win.
Yeah.
Do I think he's gonna win? Let's just say this. I give him a better chance of winning now than when the fight was first announced before the Ukraine incident.
Yeah.
Because now he's had a longer period of time to train with Robert Garcia and to train in a different style and to try and box in a different style.
Yeah, and to your point with that, it's like what Usyk is going to now turn up.
Yes.
That's a big question.
That's another big question, because obviously the war's going to take a lot out of him.
Yeah, and it's like, is he going to be the one that turns up to represent his country and say, look, we're still out here, I'm out here fighting for you? Or is it someone that is, you know, he's seen brothers if he's dying in arms, and he's been out there for the most part. I don't know if he was on the front line, but he's been out there fighting with his countrymen, and he's seeing that happen. And it's like, where is he going to be mentally?
Yeah.
Because the argument was always made that I know you've given different point of you on this, but the argument is always made that when Fury fought Klitschko wasn't always fully there mentally because of what was going on with his wife, where she was dealing with postnatal depression, and he was dealing with so much that he wasn't really there. Whether that would have been a different outcome, we never know. I still think Fury probably would have still won that. But you know, it is that question of what psychological like state is he going to be in come fight night.
That's a big question, very big question. Again, like I said, now that there's been a bit more time because of the Ukraine thing, it's made this fight harder to call. Because if you'd have, again, like I said, I would have made Usyk a firm favourite beforehand. Now he's only a slight favourite to me.
Yeah, he's still the favourite for me as well. But I think they are slightly closer than they were before. I still, because obviously everyone thinks the aim of the game for Joshua is going to be pressing, clinching, tie him up, use your weight on him, and that's how you're going to put him away. But people tend to forget, because there's been a lot of pundits been saying, oh, that's what Joshua should win. Usyk can bang. People forget that, like, he put it on Bellew when obviously Bellew was a cruiserweight, but still Bellew could fight heavyweight.
But even look at that first fight. Who was hurt in that fight?
The end of the 12th round, Joshua was nearly done. He nearly had Joshua out there, and there was the controversial, which I think still happened. They took the timer off the screen because they were worried Joshua was going to get finished. Because that timer for the last 10 seconds disappeared real quick, and that was like 5 seconds wait. So I think 2 more punches, Joshua was probably nearly out of there.
He was. Let's be real about it.
So it's not like he can't hit.
No, he can hit. He can hit. And I mean, listen, it's always been said, if you're over 15 stone, you can hurt another heavyweight. It's just, it is what it is. But to your point, I think it's a very good point that, everyone's saying, me included, in the first fight, all he had to do and all he probably has to do is press him and use his size and strength. First of all, it's not that easy to do that.
No.
You're not talking about Andy Ruiz, who's like eating himself out of shape and coming up to the. Do you know what I mean? So there's that.
You can catch him, you can clinch him, isn't it?
Right. It's not that kind of party. No. Second of all, that's not even guaranteed to win for the same reason you just said. If he stands there and tries to use his strength and size, he's going to get hit back because he's going to be in punching range, and he was hurt by Usyk the first time.
And the difference is Usyk is the more clinical puncher. So the ability for Usyk to get shots off, actually hit the target compared to Joshua. He'll put together a combination while just trying to press him, and it could be that combination that makes Joshua go, actually, I can't press him.
100%. Now I know Joshua has been sparring some southpaws. There's one in particular that I won't mention that he's been sparring, but the problem is that this guy's been long retired. I don't know. You won't. I'll tell you off camera who it was. But this guy's long retired, and I don't really see how effective the sparring would be. So I don't know if he's sparring any other southpaws. I hope he is. Because I don't think that just sparring this guy that I'm talking about isn't going to be enough.
That's the thing. Is like, I mean, has he pulled? Obviously, you know the guy, so. Without saying his name, has he pulled this guy in because this guy can almost emulate like what Usyk can emulate, or is he pulled him because
he can't emulate Usyk even at his best? Pipe dream. So that makes me think: has he really prepared as well as he could have?
And Joby, you fought Usyk before. You could have gone and sparred him for a bit, and that'd been a different fight. But there's a few guys who could have got in to kind of even he could have probably brung in, I'd argue, some like some cruiserweights, or brung in like some middleweights to work with, not to go for on sparring, but to work with in terms of like trying to work out where he's going to be.
Yes and no, because being a former heavyweight myself, look, when you've got movers, your job is not to move with them, and your job is not even to predict where they're going to be. Your job is to move them in the position that you want them to be. And if you're the bigger, stronger guy, that's what you should be doing.
But he needs, for me, like I would want to have like say middleweight or cruiserweight in there working with me, so like I can get used to having that person move around me so much, work and start to work out what my game plan's going to be, how I'm going to move.
The problem with that, I get what you're saying, and there's some validity to that. The problem with that is the way to move someone to your position is with punching power.
Yeah.
And you can't go hard with
sparring.
You could probably go hard with a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Under, obviously they all agreed. But you middleweight, you can't do that. You can't. So I take your point, and you could do that with a cruiserweight or small heavyweight. You know what I mean? You could just that's perfectly feasible, but not with a middleweight. You can't do that. You know what I mean? So there's that side of things as well. So I mean, listen, I want Joshua to win, but I think Usyk scrapes another points victory. That's my verdict. Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if Joshua wins, though. Don't get me wrong, because as you alluded to, we don't know what headspace Usyk is in. With the conflict that's going on.
And there is also, and this is not me playing like conspiracy theories, but I just remember the fact that when Joshua got the rematch against Andy Ruiz, where would the fight take place?
Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
So the rematch again is in Saudi Arabia. I'm a little bit skeptical as to why that is.
I've got a feeling, because I saw a video today actually talking about how Andy Joshua prayed a Fajr prayer, which is a Islamic prayer.
Okay. So
it might be that he's become Muslim. I don't know. Okay. But it could be that. It could be that. So the Saudis have been very good to both of them actually, because they've given Usyk the rights.
Oh, okay.
To the Ukrainian rights, to the that's what he's showing it live on his YouTube channel.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So the Saudis have been very the Saudis have been very nice, because but he's going to show it for free.
I was going to say, because no one can afford to pay it right now.
So the Saudis know to put on a show, I've got to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they can put on a spectacle, definitely.
Yeah, man.
They've been doing it at UFC when they put on Dubai, so. But,
yeah, man.
Yeah, so that's.
What do you think's gonna happen? What's your verdict? Because I've gone out there. I put myself out there.
It's a tough one, man. If I was a betting man,
like I said, if Usyk wins, and he's most likely gonna win in my eyes, slight favourite points. If Joshua does win. Actually, if Joshua does win, I think he'll win points. I don't think he'll stop Usyk.
No, that's what I was going to say. I personally think that Usyk wins. I hate to say it, I think in the same fashion he won the first fight. I think he's going to do exactly the same thing. I think if anything now, he's going to be more opportunistic, depending on what mindset he's in, to probably press a bit more, because he knows he can hurt Joshua. So if I'm Usyk, I might take, not to my own detriment, but I might take a few more, calculated risks.
Put my foot on the gas earlier.
Gas a bit early, take a few more calculated risks to see if I can possibly get him out of there by the 10th, 11th round. Not saying that's what's going to happen, but I think that he might take one or two more calculated risks into the first time. Now he's felt Joshua's power.
And knows he can take it.
Knows he can take it. If Joshua manages somehow to navigate and to kind of narrow down and to break up Usyk's footwork, the way he moves, if he's able to mitigate that, there's a possibility that say 9th, 10th round, he could possibly drop him. I don't say finish him, but I reckon he could possibly put him on the canvas 9th, 10th round, but not a knockout. I reckon he gets back up, gets back on his footwork, and then probably takes it out to a decision. I'm with you. If Joshua wins, I don't see it being a finish. I see it being a decision, possibly split. If Usyk wins, I think it'll be unanimous decision in points. That's just the way I see it happening. It's a shame, because I'm a big Joshua fan. I've been running the Joshua Bolt since day dot. I mean, like you, we both had the pleasure of meeting Joshua throughout the years, and he's a lovely kid. As we said before, he's done a hell of a lot for the sport, and hopefully this isn't his swan song. Hopefully this is, he's coming back to the four party, but we'll let Saturday see, man.
Yeah, I mean, here's a question for you. If Joshua does win, do you see Tyson Fury coming out of retirement to fight him?
I think he's got to. I don't think he wants to, but I think he's got to, because I think the British public will make too much of an, because he's already talking about fighting Ngannou You know, he's talking about that for a while. He's also talking about possibly fighting Thor.
Yeah.
So he's talking about fighting Thor. So I think if anything, if Joshua wins this, I think next year we get, that's it, all cards on the table, you get Tyson Fury and Joshua.
I'm not too sure because I think some parts of the British public want to see that fight. I think a lot of the British public don't want to see that fight because they know, really and truly, Fury beats him quite easily as well.
Would you say Fury beats Usyk easy?
No, that's a harder fight.
Yeah.
That's a harder fight.
Which is to my point, if Joshua manages now in this fight to beat Usyk, it gives him a little bit more of a chance. I think I'm not saying to beat Tyson, but it makes it a bit more competitive.
Yeah, I see where you're going. I see where you're going because then it gives more validity to the fight.
Yeah,
but people always harken back to the way he beat
Joshua,
Vladimir Klitschko, and then also the fact that Joshua more than likely would have been knocked out by Deontay Wilder. Do you know what I mean? Whereas on 3 occasions, although he didn't get one of the verdicts, he got a draw. But let's be honest, it was on 3 occasions. Tyson Fury beat him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, he did. It's not like Joshua hasn't had his chin tested. He's had his chin tested. Like, you know, he got dropped by Klitschko. He got nearly dropped by
Dillian White.
He's taken some shots off of some boxers.
Yeah.
But obviously, the bronze bomb was called the bronze bomber for a reason. You know, and the fact that Tyson Fury got out from that, would Joshua get out from that?
No. That's not even a question. No.
Yeah.
No. No. Yeah. Any of those knockdowns. Yeah. We know Wilder is a murderous puncher. If he touches you, you're going to sleep. Yeah. That's not shade on anyone, including Joshua. That's not shade on Joshua. No. Anyone's got... Tyson Fury has been the only one that can stand up to those punches. And even he's admitted that he doesn't know how much that's taken out of him. You know what I mean? In 3 especially the last one. That's
the one fight where Joby, if he gets to fight him, that's the one fight where like, I hope that Masada gets him to move a bit more, because that's the one fight that I wouldn't want Joby to get hit.
Yeah.
Because Joby takes shots of anyone he fights, but I wouldn't
you don't want to get you wouldn't want to get hit by that guy. No. That's not a guy you want to be like, oh, I can take some of this, and you want to do a rope-a-dope. No. That's not the guy. That's not the guy. Say what you want about his skill, but his punch power is, it's there. It is second to none, 100%. But I take your point. Like, it still might be a fight that everyone wants to see, and it's a fight that will generate a lot of money.
Oh yeah, of course it will. Like, you got to think like the amount of money that Dylan and Fury made when they sold at Wembley. Dylan wasn't. He's not a world-known name. He's a household name in the UK.
In the UK, but that's about
not around the world. That money, that fluctuates. That fight made some money.
Yeah.
So Fury and Joshua, whether he wants to fight or not, you know that every bookie, every loan shark, every certain gangster that's involved in boxing is going to be like, Fury, you're fighting. No, I don't scouts. All gangsters are scouts apparently. They'll be like, Fury, you're fighting now. You know, so and if you do, there's another 3 houses for you in Marbella and whatnot. But that's our take on the fact.
Yeah. So guys, what do you think is going to happen this weekend with Joshua and Usyk?
And also, if you are a UFC fan, there's another British boy fighting this weekend. I had a pleasure meeting this guy a long time ago. But Leo Rocky Edwards is taking on Kamaru Usman for the welterweight title this Saturday. It's going to be fire, which is a rematch. Can't wait to see it. So please do check that out. There's a lot of combat sports this weekend, people.
Yeah. So drop us some comments and let us know what you think's going to happen. Give us your prediction.
And with that being said,
the show is over.
So you can wait for a while, but I can still do it.
So yeah, man. I mean, listen, you've got all our links below. You can find us. You know where to find us. Drop us a comment. Drop, DMs or whatever. You know what I mean? And we'll try and get back to you as soon as possible.
So your head is now back. Liam will be back with us in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
If anything he wants to review, anything he wants to talk about, anything you think needs to be discussed, please do.
Oh, by the way, we are almost at 1,000 subscribers.
Yes, we are. Road to 1,000 subscribers, people.
Right. We need to get there sharpish, guys, because if you do that,
more content
and live stream.
And live streaming too. bring you guys on. You can talk about it. You can talk with Larry. I'll just be here like a pat
You can
myself.
interact with us,
Yes,
you know what I mean? Support the channel, you get me? But yeah, listen, let's you keep supporting the channel as you're doing, and we're really grateful.
A lot of love, people. A lot of love. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. So from me,
Yeah, mate.
bye bye.